Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Lego The Lord of the Rings. Let's continue the story. So, last time we were in the open world, we walked forward like 5 feet and it moved us into a level. And there was nothing we really even saw. At least here we kind of see, this is actually rather intricate design. I have never seen this in a Lego game before, but interesting. Somebody spent some time on that. But seems like the rest of this is just going to be walking around some very generic mountain path. And we can see that's here. Also feels like the game is having a little bit of trouble rendering in all the detail and texture. Recording and playing this game at 1080p does not go smoothly. I have to just admit it straight up. They never intended for these to be run at that level, and because of that, even with a very decent gaming PC, the engine just can't handle it. And even with a ton of extra stuff, I don't think the engine would be able to handle it. So you might do better for smoother graphics just to leave it at its default settings, particularly with this animation style, instead of trying to knock it up. I imagine it would be a nightmare to try to run this at 4K if you even had the option. Okay, so this has the gaze of Sauron. Wow. Boy, is that a how do you do? So, how do you turn the gaze of Sauron off? I guess we have to hit Y. 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 See, we see in the top right corner that there's some other guys. Maybe I have to hold Y and go to these guys. Let's go play as Legolas. So, this feels like this is what we have to do. So here's the guys that we left behind like 2 levels ago. If not 3 or 4 levels ago. Feels like it might be more. And we have to go here and do this story first. Very, very just like around unfocused. The whole Lord of the Rings storyline does seem to like want way too many characters in way too many different places. This is the kind of thing you would do after your first series of books have sold millions and you want to make some offshoots. You explain what was going on when the main character wasn't watching. Yeah, war horses don't dance like this.
We are friends of Rohan, and of Theoden, your king.
Saruman has poisoned the mind of the king and claimed lordship over these lands.
This is kind of funny.
Track a party of Urukai westward across the plain. They've taken 2 of our friends captive.
The Orcs are destroyed. We slaughtered them during the night.
May these horses
Bear you to better fortune, our former masters. Farewell.
Maybe they were dancing so Sauron couldn't poison their mind.
Huh?
Now, since the Lego video game series has come out over many years, it's starting to. They started to make a few TV shows too, of just Lego versions of things, which is cool. I mean, I think that's definitely kind of awesome. I can't shoot these for some reason. And you can't free shoot. Maybe it's the rope. Maybe I need to switch over to... yeah, now I can shoot it. I just switch it back. And the fact that they've started to make cartoons of some things, I kind of wonder if you're not going to put in the work to make a good video game, which I'm not ready. I'm not to the point yet, but I'm getting close to the point where I'd say this might not be the best of video games. Lego video game versions. I feel like this story might have done better as just the cutscenes, because they seem very focused on the audio and the cutscenes here.
It's one of their wee belts.
And not very, not super focused on having enough levels to do things in. Right now, I have no idea. I have no idea where I am, where these characters are, what they're doing. I have no idea what they were doing before this point.
And the other.
So are these guys trying to catch up with them? Is that why we had to come play this section? Not knowing the story, I'm rather confused. I'm like, why did I have to hold Y? Why did I have to come do this? What is the chronological order? And what is this belt he's using that seems to show him the past? Show me these green directions. We never got an explanation for what that belt was, or what it, or how it works.
Huh?
Certain characters seem like they can't pick up items for some reason.
I crawled. My hands were bound.
So we're seeing like what happened instead of playing what happened. And when did this happen? Because we probably are gonna just end right back where the other guys are. I guess I can't hold just Y right now and go back to where I was. So that was kind of weird. Those type of things should have been forced. It should have just said continue story and started right where they wanted me to start, instead of having me hold Y and switch to left. I mean, this could have been a quick time event of them being tied up and escaping.
They ran over here.
Are we really accomplishing or giving more action to the player by specifically having them relive this event? I assume this happened in the story. That would be the only thing that makes any sense.
You were followed.
So that's how they got the belt off the guy. And does this guy just have like magical powers always to anything people touch, he can see the history of them? I'm going back and forth here, but I'm pretty sure it's just all gonna end up right here.
Tracks lead away from the battle.
Into Fangorn Forest.
Fangorn? What madness drove me there?
interesting that they don't like ask you or give you a warning saying you will leave the level if you walk here and show you're done. It just runs you right into the cutscene and says, nope, you're done. You did what we wanted. So that scene feels like you probably would have accomplished more if you'd done played as the Hobbit and Sam. Well, they're both Hobbits, so I guess you have to call it that. You have to say Frodo and Sam. So it's a little bit of a weirdness in the name too. Like one guy is named Sam, a very standard Anglo-American name, and the other one's Frodo, a name I don't think anybody has ever been named ever before this book was published. Although, I don't know, you're probably a pretty bad parent if you named your kid Frodo. Anyways, here we have a both have to jump up to pull it down sequence, which we haven't seen in the game, and we're, I guess, now somewhere near the middle. Now understanding the three stories are all going to be here. We're somewhere near the middle, and that's the first time we've had an experience like that. We should have done that at least once before. There's a lot of elements I think we're going to see through this game that could have been done a couple of extra times. This game also is making an argument that TT games just makes too many mistakes, and needs to take a little step back and make sure they do good quality every single time, because they really only have one opportunity to cover each of these properties, so they need to do it right. That's at least my opinion. As a critic. Where's the rope? How come I don't have the rope anymore? Well, I guess it wouldn't matter, those are the arrows. I thought that was a rope post. But it is a fair argument to say that they really are overworking themselves, and that's when we start to see problems in video game creation. Oh, these are not even Frodo and Sam. I guess that goes to say something. I swore this was Frodo and that was Sam, and it's not. It's Pippin and Merry. So many characters in this game, in this story. Way too many characters.
You don't understand! We're hobbits!
Maybe one. The White Wizard will know.
So who are we playing now? So we get sort of a vehicle level here for the Middle Earth style. Treebeard is being controlled. Is Treebeard working for Sauron? It doesn't make sense why he'd be stepping on the Orcs and slight effect on controlling them. These can be fun sequences, or they can be just kind of pointless sequences. which is true for every Lego level. Pick up large Lego objects in the trees here. So I'll put this guy down. My hands are free. Pick this up. Then throw. Now, if I hit Y, I guess you are playing as this character, but it's still very zoomed out, so I would imagine you wouldn't want to do too much of that. I think what you want in a sequence like this, my guess would be, and I think we're probably going to be done with the whole level by the time we're done with it. If you want a lot of stuff you can step on, crash into, and you want to move with relatively high speed. This is a decent pace, but it could get a bit faster. That's really where a Lego racing game would potentially be rather fun, is if you could go at what feels like 100 miles per hour, crashing cars, Lego cars, crashing Lego rocks, trees, and buildings with stuff. And it was this very just like dangerous style of driving that you probably shouldn't encourage kids to do. You could have some fun there. The question, the reason I think they probably haven't done it at this point, Ints are afraid of fire. That makes sense. So now I need to go back to this guy. Let's see. We can't cross this river. So I think there's some trick here. So I can't just jump with that brake. And see, this is what you usually do when you hit water. You just brake. But they've added this new system. Like, I can't zoom in. I feel like I should be able to click the right stick and zoom in there. Okay, I know he's supposed to pick this guy up with the B button. Carry him over the water. A little confusing there. Then put him down. Then control him. And we'll douse the flames with this water at the top of the tree, which is also something kind of new to Lego. I haven't seen that gag done before. And Lego games totally need new gags. They have a tendency to play the same thing over and over again, and I haven't seen any of the things that I've seen in previous Lego games in this one. So it would be really hard to integrate some of that stuff. I kind of wish there was some of it in here, though. It's a little light on gameplay and very heavy on cutscenes. At this rate of this many cutscenes, just make Lego the movie, the Lord of the Rings the movie. Because we're seeing 4, 5 cutscenes between each level. We never got back to that section we were trying to reach before. Remember we started to walk into an area with the gates of Sauron. It said go move to Legolas, and then we played the entire level and never got back to that section. There is a lot of collectibles, more than you would think, because it's getting split between 3 different places. But so I'm gonna have a lot of free play stuff I'm gonna have to do, which may be a little difficult still, even though I'm kind of learning the story here. I bet there's still a few things that I'm gonna have some trouble finding and doing. Wow, so that was only 19 minutes, and most of it was cutscenes. These levels are too short. This game seems like it had problems in production. It's so short in compared to some of the extremely long levels of other Lego games. You could often spend 30, 45 minutes just doing one average length level. Here, we were barely pushing 30. Anywho, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. I hope that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.